Okay, so today we are going to now work on solving equations that have a variable on each side of the equation. So when I say that we have a variable on each side of the equation, this is kind of what I mean. So we've got our equation here, right? Notice I have a 5x here and a 3x here. So on the left side I have an x, and on the right side I have an x. So in order to solve that, right, all I need to do is bring what I like to say is I like to bring all of my x's over to the same side. So if I want to take this 5x, right, I always like to bring everything to the left side. Okay, and you may end up with some negatives this way, but you know, if you bring everything to the left side, you can always solve it the way that we've worked on in the past. So in order to take this 5x and bring it over here, I need to do the opposite. So I'm gonna get rid of it by doing a minus 5x. Okay? So if I do minus 5x on this side, I need to do the same over here. Minus 5x. So let's see where that leaves me. Okay? So the good news is that my 5x minus 5x cancels out. Okay, so I'm left here with 3x minus 5x, which is negative 2x, take away 10. Okay, so I'm just putting these together. And that is going to equal, these are gone, so I'm just left with 41. Okay, so the good news is that this looks exactly like equations that we've been working on in class. I'm going to add 10 to both sides, right? To get rid of the minus 10, I'm going to add 10. Add 10. So here, once I've done that, let's see. Negative 10 and positive 10 cancel each other out. So after I've done that, I'm left here with negative 2x on the left side, okay? And then equals, right? I like to bring this line down. Equals 41 plus 10 is 51. So I'm almost done, right? And I see that this is not going to be a nice number. But to get rid of the times negative 2, I'm going to divide by negative 2. These cancel. And I'm left with x equals, well, it's negative, 51 over 2. If I didn't want a fraction, I could divide these through and get negative 25.5. Okay? But here's the big idea. What I was able to do in this problem is take all my x's and bring them to the left side to make it look like an equation that I have done before. Let's try another one here. Here, I'm going to have one additional step to do, right? I need to start by doing my distributive property. Before I move everything around, I want to simplify each side of the equation. So look, I get 2x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10 equals x take away 5. Okay, so all I've done is simplified, made this a little bit easier to work with. So now let's draw a line to my equal sign. So I see that this equation has an x on the left side, or a 2x, and an x on the right side with just regular x. Okay. So to solve this, I want all my x's on the left side. To get rid of the x, I'm going to do, remember this is a 1x here, imaginary 1. I'm going to do minus 1x and minus 1x. All right, let's see where that leaves me. Not the straightest line I've drawn. Look, 2x minus 1x, isn't that just x, right? 2 minus 1 is x, which is 1x. Minus 10. Equals, let's see, these are gone, so I'm left with negative 5, right? And then I'm going to add 10 to both sides. Add 10 to both sides. That leaves me here. These are gone. I'm left with x equals, let's see, negative 5 plus 10 gives me 5. Okay? So I should always check, right, to make sure that I have done the equation right. And I see that I haven't, because these should all be 15s. Negative 15. right? Just bringing the negative 15 down. Negative 15 plus 10 is negative 5. Okay, so let me check this. Let's do a different color for the check. So my check, I'm going to take a negative 5, and I'm going to substitute it in for x. Right, so each x is going to become negative 5. Now let's calculate. Negative 5 minus 5 is negative 10. So 2 times negative 10. Let's see. Negative 5 minus 15 is negative 20. Negative 20. Okay, so I'm checking, right? I always want to put a question mark because I'm checking to see if this is true. So 2 times negative 10 gives me negative 20, right? And this side is negative 20. So it checks out. I've done it correctly because the left side equals the right side. Okay, so now we've got one more example to do. This one's a little harder. And let me see. I'm going to put a box around it because I want us to make sure that we see where we're working. Okay. So here, I'm going to start by simplifying. Okay. So let's draw that line through the equal sign, and then we're going to simplify. Okay. And the reason that I want to do that is because it'll make it easier as I work through the equation. Okay, so here I want to do my distributive property. So I'm gonna bring the 4x down. 4x plus 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. All right, and on the right side, I'm just going to bring this on down. All right, let's see. So before I do anything else, I want to simplify, right? Now, this is something that is confusing, right? A lot of people want to say, oh, I'm going to do minus 2x, right? But I don't need to because I'm working on the same side of the equation. So I'm just going to combine my terms here. Right, 4x and 2x, I'm just adding them. Gives me 6x. Now here's where I need to then bring everything, because I need to bring everything to the left side. Because I have an x on this side and an x on that side. Minus 7x to get rid of it. Minus 7x because I have to balance. So 6 minus 7 gives me negative 1x minus 8 equals, let's see, these are gone, 12. All right, to undo the minus 8, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So now over here, I'm left with negative 1x equals 12 plus 8 is 20. Divide by negative 1, and I get my solution, which says that the x is equal to 20. Okay, so that's the solution to this equation. Okay, and we could go back in and substitute. So hopefully, having seen this, you'll be able to work through the practice problems. Here's the big idea. You need to bring all your variables to one side before you solve an equation. So I had a 5x, brought it to the left side, and then we can make it look like all the other equations that I've solved. Here, I want to simplify each side first, okay? Make it as simple as I can, and then I'll work on solving. So hopefully you'll be able to use that to now solve the equation, to solve the practice problems. So let's get to work, and let me know if you have any questions.